Dr. E.N.G. Marek Gruszecki. Philosophy of Being. Krakow, 2025. My 85th anniversary. Philosophical essay Does God Exist? Krakow, the 19th of April 2025.
The Jubilee Year 2000, Part 1. The Great Jubilee of the year 2000, the celebration of the Catholic Church's entry into the Third Millennium, initiated by John Paul II as the Jubilee Year. Jubilee Year or Holy Year, in Jewish and Christian tradition, a year of special grace, recalling man's origin from God. The symbol of the Great Jubilee of the year 2000 is an expression of the universality of the Christian message. A special graphic sign was established for the occasion. A cross was inscribed in a circular field, uniting the 5 continents, represented as 5 differently colored doves. The doves touch each other, symbolizing unity and brotherhood, and their colors signify joy and peace. In the Old Testament, a Jubilee year was known to be celebrated every 50 years, in which social inequalities were evened out and everyone was freed from debt. This symbolized God granting of the land to man only as a fief. The Jubilee year was celebrated after 7 sabbatical years, which was celebrated every 7 years, 7 by 7. The year was announced by the priest blowing the ram's horn, shofar. In the Middle Ages, a tradition modeled on the Jewish one was adopted in Christianity at the initiative of the Bishop of Rome. It was celebrated for the first time in 1300 and was initially to be celebrated every 100 years. By decision of successive popes, the period was shortened to 50 years, then 33, the years of Christ's life, and finally to 25. As a result, since the second half of the 15th century, the Jubilee year has been celebrated every 25 years, if external circumstances permit. The last regular Jubilee was celebrated in 2000 on the second millennium of Christ coming into the world. The next regular Jubilee should be in 2025. A holy year was also proclaimed on special occasions outside the designated periods. The year 1933 was declared a holy year by the Pope to commemorate the 1900th anniversary of Christ's saving death. In 1983, the Jubilee was celebrated to mark the 1950th anniversary of this event. The year 2008 was celebrated as a year of St. Paul to mark the second millennium since the birth of St. Paul. The name Jubilee, Holy Year, is customarily written with a capital letter, although it is not a proper name. In modern times, the opening of the Holy Year takes place on the 24th of December, or in the case of extraordinary and special jubilees, on a date set by the Pope. The official start of the celebrations is accompanied by the rite of opening the Holy Gate in the vestibule of the Jubilee churches in Rome, above all St. Peter's Basilica. This gate was erected at the Pope's command. The opening of the gate was preceded by a symbolic hammering of the gate 3 times. Jubilee Year 2000, Part 2. Between Jubilees, a wall, built after completion of the previous Jubilee year and demolished before the opening of the next such year, covers the gate from inside the basilica. A special sign of Jubilee years is the possibility of obtaining an indulgence. An indulgence could be obtained in Rome by visiting one of the 4 churches. Some Italian cities enjoyed similar privileges granted by the popes. The Pope also allowed an indulgence in Krakow in 1392. During the Jubilee in 1450, the Pope agreed that those who visited the cathedral churches of Gniezno, Krakow, Lviv, or Vilnius could obtain the Jubilee indulgence. The possibilities and technical means given to the Church in the year of the Jubilee by global television were not enough. In its search for new partners, the Church of John Paul II is turning to the followers of Judaism, to the Islamic world, to people of other religions, and to non-believers. One of the Vatican's last acts in the Jubilee year was to send wishes on behalf of the Pope to all Muslim communities around the world on the occasion of the end of Ramadan, expressing the wish that Christians and Muslims shape the young generation in a spirit of dialogue between these religions. On the morning of Epiphany, the Pope knelt with difficulty before the Holy Door and prayed for the fulfillment of the words of Cardinal Stefan Wyszynski, who told him before his death, "You will lead the Church into the Third Millennium." The ceremony was shown by all the televisions of the world. The Pope pushed lightly on the wings of the Holy Gates, which slowly closed. In 25 years' time, on the occasion of the next Holy Year, they will be opened by one of his successors. No one today can predict whether in a quarter of a century the churches will be filled with believers on Sundays. This gate was erected at the behest of Pope Pius XII and was first opened on the 24th of December, 1949, which began the Jubilee Year of 1950. In the Jubilee of 2025, the Holy Door will be opened only in the papal basilicas in Rome. At the request of the Holy Father, there will be holy doors opened by him personally in one of the penitentiaries to give the prisoners a concrete sign of closeness. Compared to number 10. This door was erected at the behest of Pope Pius XII and opened for the first time on the 24th of December, 1949, which began the Jubilee Year 1950.
Conclusion. But Jesus, overhearing what was being said, said to the ruler of the synagogue, "Do not be afraid, only believe." Bible, Mark 5 verse 36. It will still be beautiful, despite everything. Just put on comfortable shoes, because you have your whole life to go through. John Paul II. Mathematics in Nature.